Hello everyone, Maxis back here with Pokemon HeartGold and SoulSilver. Last time, we started our Pokemon journey, got our partner, Firestorm the Cyndaquil. Made it out of our hometown of Newbark Town, made it past Route 29 through Cherry Grove, and now up to Route 30 where we encountered Mr. Pokemon's house, and got the Mystery Egg. A mysterious egg obtained from Mr. Pokemon. What's inside this egg is unknown. After receiving that egg and meeting Professor Oak, we received a very unsettling call from Professor Elm that apparently some sort of disaster happened back at his lab. And now, I'm here to see what happened. If only the Pokemon would comply. They don't have time for you. Just beat up on the caterpillars. Show them that we will destroy them if they get in our way. Nice, level up. And we're going to Smokescreen. I'll actually be going over that as we make our way back. Smokescreen is like Leer. It is a status move. It lowers accuracy but not defense. This will mean attacks are more likely to miss. As you saw in that last battle, my tackle, as you saw in that last episode, tackle missed twice. Pidgey. This will make that happen more often. And that's actually pretty good, depending on the battles. And speaking of battles, love this music. You got a Pokemon at the lab. What a waste. That's a Pokemon that's too good for a wimp like you. Don't you get what I'm saying? Well, I too have a good Pokemon. I'll show you what I mean. You are challenged by Passerby Boy. Passerby Boy sent out to Totodile. He will always have the starter you are weak to. And this battle is actually kind of bad for my particular situation because Totodile, as I mentioned, is the physical powerhouse. I am actually kind of scared and I'm going to use Smokescreen. Because my low and its physical attack is quite high and it's using Leer, oh god. I'm actually kind of afraid of this. I'm a special glass cannon, not a physical one, so this actually could be a reasonably difficult battle. I'm used to being a bit higher leveled when I fight him because I tend to get in more battles, but I kind of got lucky and unlucky in that I didn't run into a lot of Pokemon. So, oh crap, this is not good. If he gets off one scratch, I am dead. No. Yeah, okay, well he didn't KO me, but I need Scratch to miss again. If it hits, crap. Well, that's not good. No. I'm gonna be the world's greatest Pokemon trainer. Get back, that's my trainer card. Oh no, you saw my name. I mean, we got fully healed. That's not good. Well, that really just threw me off. I mean, I don't lose that fight. I mean, I usually am several levels higher. I mean, not several. I mean, I tend to be at least level 7, and that was just me being making a bad call and using Smokescreen. That was just the AI getting lucky with 2 scratches in a row. And of course, now I get a critical hit. That would have been so helpful in that last fight. It's a Gurn Apricorn. Yeah, you see how low my defense. I gained 0 points on defense that level. You know, like, my defense is terrible. I think it also has something to do with my Pokemon's nature, that my defense is so low because of that. So, I am probably going to be hurting for it, because early game, most Pokemon have, I'm pretty sure every single attack, not every single attack, but almost every attack early game is physical. So me having that low physical defense is really bad. Like, you're seeing this. I am more than double the level of this Sentret. And you saw that thing is dealing 3 damage to me. That is how bad my defense is. And like, I'm on top of a defense-lowering nature with probably bad defense IVs. So it's kind of the worst situation. Like, I know I'm kind of like trying to justify losing that fight, but I mean, it's kind of, I did lose. And if we go over here to where Passerby Boy was standing, we get a potion. Who are you? We're investigating the case of the missing Pokemon here. Rule number 1, whoever it will return to the site. Oh my, so it must be you're the one who did it. And Large jumps up and down and yells at the police officer, "Hold on a sec, it has nothing to do with it. I saw there was this redhead boy looking into the building." You? What? You battled a boy like that? He must be the one who did it. Did you ever get his name? Oddly convenient that we got his ID. I actually have a name picked out for this guy. E. D. It's kind of fitting what I want to name this guy because of that fight, Edwin. It's kind of funny because he did win that fight, and that is the first time I've ever played a Pokemon game and lost the rival. Let's Play Curse is already started. I see. So Edwin was his name. Thanks for helping my investigation. My next assignment will be searching for this red-haired individual. You just learned his name! Don't call him the red-haired individual. Just call him Edwin. Yeah, pre-programmed text boxes. Max, I'm so glad that you understand that you're innocent. See you later. And just like Zelda, pulling our butt out of the fire. I mean, we are actually standing over a firestorm, so it does look like our butt is literally in the fire. Didn't even notice that. This is terrible. Oh, yes. I love how he switches from this is bad to, oh, what does Mr. Pokemon have? Handed the mystery egg over to Professor... Huh, this is an egg, isn't it? This egg may be something but I've never seen, but it's just an egg. Mr. Pokemon's also fascinated by eggs, so I guess you could call him an egghead. Well, since he gave it to us, we might as well find out what it holds. I mean, we have it anyway, we might as well see what it has. Oh, God, I'll give it for a while and find out more about the egg. What? Professor will give you a Pokedex? Max, is that true? That's incredible! He is supervising the potential of people as trainers. That line always felt so unnatural, he's supervising the potential of people as trainers. There's some sentences in here that just, even today, still kind of seem weird. I know you're a little different. Things are going to be fun. Your Pokemon seem to really like you, so why don't you take the Pokemon Gym Challenge? If you manage to defeat all the gym leaders, you'll eventually challenge the Pokemon League. Champion. Why couldn't they just put Champion after League? There's enough room! Wow. Confidence booster, man. Becoming the champion is not at all easy, but you can certainly challenge Violet City's gym. I mean, didn't like 3 years ago another 10-year-old manage to beat the league champion? And then another 10-year-old beat that league champion? Maxis. Challenging gyms scattered around will be a long journey. Before you leave, you make sure you talk to your mom. I mean, that's probably the right thing to do. I think we should... If that battle with Edwin is any omen, I think we should probably heal. I could have healed using the thing! Why did I not do it? I mean, speaking of healing, that probably was also on my part that I didn't heal before the fight, but I don't think that 2 HP would have been much of a difference because it went from, I think it was 28, I had 20 HP, and then took it up. Mom, I'll do the math later. Do you want me to save money for you? Yes. Mom can save up money for you. She will buy items you normally cannot get. But at the same time, she can also buy items that are really, really bad and not helpful. I think it's worth the risk because money isn't that sparse in this game. And you never know when those things can be helpful. She can buy you an item that you really don't think you need, and then all of a sudden it turns out, oh, she got this item for you, you might as well take it. And then in some really important battle, oh wow, that item was super helpful, I didn't even know I needed it. Mom buying items is extremely helpful. So back to something about the math. I had 22 HP. I had 20 HP remaining from that 2 HP I lost in that one fight prior, so I would have been at 22 HP. The attack did 11 damage, taking me down to 9, I believe. So even if I had HP, I don't know if I still would have been able to survive that. I probably, unless that 11 damage was a high damage roll, which there are damage rolls that's between 100% damage and 85% damage for damage being calculated by attacks. So unless he got a high damage roll, and then the next turn he got a low damage roll, I don't think I would have actually survived even with that extra 2 HP. He would have had to get a very low damage roll for me to survive. But now about this tutorial. I like how on the overworld it shows Lyra and her Morel just hopping around. I wish they did that as the tutorial for this game. You know, you have Lyra, jumping up and down, then her Morel jumping up and down, and then you see like a Rattata or something like that, right next to the Morel, and then you see her throw a Pokeball at it. I think that would have been the perfect way to do the capture. It's so much faster, it's so entertaining, it would be so entertaining and different. I would have liked to see that as a capture tutorial. It would have been something new and interesting, and I don't like this. It isn't long, but it's slow. It's boring, and it looks like you have to press the screen to do things, but it does nothing. This is a cutscene you can't skip, and I don't generally like that, especially when it's something we all know. See, just like that, except I already knew this from playing this game for, 15 years? It's better to lower Pokemon's HP than I did, or put to sleep something. That is true. The lower Pokemon's HP, the easier it is to catch. If a Pokemon has a status condition, like, as she says, sleep, it is also easier to catch. And she had 20 Pokeballs in that cutscene. How many Pokeballs are we going to get? Drumroll, please. 5. Really? You couldn't give us any more? I mean, it's 5. That's 5 more than we had before. But you had 20 of them. All right, time to roast some birds. I mean, we can't roast birds. We don't have any fire attacks yet. Again, another critical hit that really would have been helpful in that fight. I'm honestly surprised. I just bumped my mic. I'm honestly surprised in that fight he did not get a critical hit on me for that last hit. That would have been just the ultimate kicking me while I am down. And now that we actually have Pokeballs, I think it's time that we go over the Pokemon encounters here.
Starting off our Route 29 encounters, we have Rattata, arguably the most well-known and infamous of the early moments. In a playthrough, it doesn't perform as well as the annoying fear tactics and competitive would have you believe. It's really going to be using normal type attacks for the game, and while it does have very impressive speed early on, this drops off very hard as time goes on with better, faster Pokemon. However, its saving grace is the move Super Fang. It's holding back evolution for a while, as I do with most Pokemon in this game in particular, because I'll face it a little bit later. It's going to get Super Fang, and this move will automatically cut the opponent's HP in half if it lands. This is very useful for softening up difficult opponents that have, say, high defenses, or just happen to resist some of your best damaging moves. While its stats aren't outstanding, it has its uses. But all in all, you could do worse. Continuing the Gen 1 Pokemon that are normal type, we have Pidgey. Starting out with absolutely abysmal stats, even worse than Rattata, Pidgey may look a lot worse at first, but then you remember this thing is part of a 3-stage evolution. While its stats do improve at level 18 when evolved into Pidgeotto, they are still inferior to Raticate's. But hey, at least it gets type effectiveness unlike Raticate. And at level 36, which is going to be a long ways away, you will finally be rewarded with a Pidgeot. This would be well worth the wait, had its Mega Evolution existed. Fortunately, or unfortunately depending on your point of view, this doesn't exist, meaning the payoff for getting your Pidgeot all the way to that level isn't going to be worth it. 4 of its stats are base 80 or below. This is not going to be dealing much damage. There's going to be Pokemon in the next route that do even more damage and have a lower evolution level. There's going to be unevolved Pokemon coming up that do more damage than this thing. Unfortunately, Pidgeot may be a classic, but it just can't hold up in terms of stats. Up next is the Gen 2 regional bird, Hoot Hoot. Hoot and later Noctowl are a rather odd pair. It focuses on higher special defense and special attack. Evolving early at level 20, its base defense is only going to be 50 as a Noctowl, and because physical attacks are going to be far more common, not even just in the early game, but throughout most of the entire game, Noctowl really can't do its job of being a special wall. While it can bulk out attacks better than Eradicate or Pidgeotto, much like them, you should consider a replacement fast. However, if you do plan to use a Noctowl, when you start getting special attacks on it, it will hit pretty hard. As I've said before, not many Pokemon in Johto seem to have good special defense, and it can learn psychic moves. Psychic Pokemon aren't something we're going to see for a while, and while we are going to be coming up on another Pokemon that can learn psychic moves, Noctowl does have a better typing than it. And finally, we have Sentret. Oh please Arceus, let this one be good. And surprisingly, it is. Well, not in the way you would expect. Much like the other 3, its stats aren't that good. For it does, however, have the advantage over the 3 of being an excellent HM slave. Even as a Sentret, it can learn a lot of HMs. Surprisingly, this thing can learn Surf. I know a lot of Pokemon can learn Surf, and most of them are more outrageous than Sentret, but it's a little furret thing, how can it Surf? But that's beside the point. Considering that HMs are a required part of the game by net still at this point, and you aren't going to have a 6th team member for a very long time, you can keep a Fervent or a Sentret in your party without consequence. But much like the other 3, your starter is going to outclass it, and even Pokemon on the next route will as well. All in all, I would recommend getting a Ferret or a Sentret as soon as possible, simply for their utility, if not, just as an extra member of your party in case a lucky crit knocks out one of your Pokemon so you don't black out halfway through the route. All in all, the Pokemon in Route 29 aren't good, but you could do a lot worse, and we're going to see some of the worst coming up. They have their uses early on, but beyond that, there really isn't much. It's like any first area of any game.
And now that we are all done with Route 29, it's time to go up here. We couldn't go up here, but we could go up here before. I just chose not to because it's off the beaten path, and there's nothing we can do up here. Well, we couldn't do up here before. Now we actually can, because there are some Pokemon here that you can catch that aren't in Route 29. We have Geodude. Starting out with an absolutely sky-high defense stat of 100 and a physical attack stat of 80. This thing's a powerhouse from the get-go. Its pretty bad special defense and special attack are kind of mitigated by the fact that you aren't going to be encountering strong special attacks for a long time. And by the time you actually do get to encountering those strong special attacks, it either resists them, or you have a full team so you can easily deal, which just amplifies its already fantastic stats. Rock Ground is a really good offensive and defensive typing, especially for this game. So even if you evolve it into a Golem, you still have a very powerful Pokemon. The first 2 gyms are easily dealt with by Rock, and also the same with the third. And there's also a few others that later on are also dealt with Rock pretty easily. So it's a powerhouse even if you can't evolve it into Golem. And if you can evolve it into Golem, the second you get your Geodude to evolve into Graveler, you can get it to its final stage, where it will just be destroying things left and right with its very, very powerful attacks. Its abilities are either good or bad. Rockhead is fantastic, taking no recoil damage from moves like Double Edge and Takedown. I don't know which ones it can learn, but if it can, and I'm pretty sure it does, have the ability to learn, because most Pokemon that have the ability Rockhead do get recoil attacks, it could be dealing a lot of damage and not taking the side effects of it. However, the other ability, Sturdy, contrary to popular belief of how it is nowadays, where it got its buff in Gen 5, that does not exist yet. The only thing that Sturdy does in this game is prevent one-hit KO moves from being used against you. Not if you're at full HP, it acts like a Focus Sash, leaving you at 1 HP. It doesn't do that, and it kinda sucks, but I am glad that they eventually buffed it to the point where it is useful. But if you want to use a Golem with Sturdy, you're gonna have to wait until that, unfortunately. All in all, Golem is a powerhouse. Even Graveler, if you can't evolve it, as I said, gets really strong stab attacks, gets really good type effectiveness for this game specifically, and regardless of what starter you picked, it allies well with them. It is super effective against something that all of them are weak to. Well, it's super effective against something that each one of them has a weakness, and at the very least one of those weaknesses are covered by Golem or Graveler's stab attacks. That's what I mean to say. So it fits in well. It doesn't really have any conflict. It does have some weaknesses shared with... It actually does also share weaknesses with all of them, but it's still a fantastic Pokemon on offense. I personally have never used one in a playthrough because I like sticking with Pokemon only in Johto when I play through this game, and sticking through Pokemon only introduced in the generation when I play a game. But I have heard many people say the highest of praise when speaking about Golem. If you need a Pokemon early on and in the late game, Golem is one of your best options. Next, we have Spearow. Now you might be thinking, oh great, another normal flying type. Hasn't this type already been done to death? And, well, yes it has. Spearow at least stands out in the fact that it is better than Pidgeot. It does Pidgeot's job a lot better than Pidgeot can, not only being obtainable at a much earlier level 20 to evolve from Spearow into Fearow, as opposed to level 36 from Pidgeotto to Pidgeot, which by then Pidgeot's stats are going to be completely terrible for what you're facing. By the time you get a Fearow, not only are you going to be very powerful with its very high speed and very high attack stat for how early in the game you are, it learns some pretty good moves, and it can be useful for a long time. It pretty much outclasses Pidgeot at everything Pidgeot can do, and it's a lot easier to obtain. Then it also has the 5% chance of pulling the Sharp Beak, which boosts the power of flying type moves. It's a pretty good Pokemon early on, as well as it can learn the HM Fly, which is going to be useful later on. There's also a fair number of things that flying is good against in the game, so you might want to pick one up for that reason. All in all, there's just a lot of good things about Fearow. I generally have Ember by this point. I hope I don't regret this. I do. I regret this. GTFO! Alright, well, now that all that is covered... now that all that's covered, I say we head back to Cherry Grove and get another battle. I mean, at least if I'm going to be encountering all these low Pokemon, I might as well get a shiny out of it. I kind of like that how people will kind of complain about, oh my god, shinies, they're so rare, no one ever gets them, now that they kind of they kind of nerfed the odds, they kind of buffed the odds of getting a shiny, and now people are kind of complaining like, oh my god, shinies, they're so easy to get, It's just, you can never make people happy. Let's see. I mean, it's kind of funny because the people, have shinies, like so many people have shinies, and a lot of them probably, like, people online are trading and battling with shinies, and a lot of them are probably hacked. Alright, well, I mean, at least these potions are kind of getting used, because I'm kind of battling a lot more to make up for that horrible loss. I am never going to live that loss down. I am never going to. I got 2 more HP I can heal. I might as well go in here. This is the Pokemon Center, as Guide Gen stated. This is the Pokemon Center, and they heal your Pokemon. This character's name is, I believe, officially Pokemon Center Lady, but we all know it's Nurse Joy. We all know it's Nurse Joy. It's pink. She's pink. She has pink hair. I can't speak today. She has pink hair. She's behind the desk at a Pokemon Center, and she heals your Pokemon. If only she had a Chansey next to her, or I don't know, or what, Wigglytuff, I think is the newer one, or like one that had a Latias, I think. Then we'd know it's Nurse Joy. First step. Every time. First step. I have a feeling I know where this is going, and it's really funny. Yep. It's going there. I really want this part of the audio to be kept in in post when I go over the bio for this thing, just because of how funny this is gonna be. The epic duel of souls, Firestorm versus the infinitely hardening Metapod. Who will win? I love that episode of the anime. It's so dumb. Just Metapod use Harden. Metapod use Harden. Metapod use Harden. It's so dumb. Metapod's defenses can't go any higher. Please, if this is a critical, if that was a critical, that'd be so funny. Critical hits actually ignore defense boosts. So, they ignore defense boosts and attack debuffs, but do not ignore attack buffs or defense debuffs, which I really like. That was a bug in the original game, where if Pokemon, say, had, 6 attack boosts, but got a critical, it would roll the damage with the original attack stat, not the boosted one, which is so funny. Oh my god, so... we are so close. I kind of wonder how close we are to a level up. If this is 1 level up, 1 point... okay, it's 5. I was going to say, if that was 1 point away from being a level up... I have played this game before, in a failed recording, which didn't take because the audio messed up. There was a point where I was 1 experience point away from a level. And I was if I'm 1 point away from a level, and I was. And now Firestorm finally grew a level. And no, did not learn fire attacks yet. Well, now that these two are done battling, we can finally progress, and... I just lost. I'm trying to find my Pokemon. Hey, wait, you look weak. Come on, let's battle! I mean, I lost the first required battle of the game. I mean, I could probably... Youngster Joey sent out Rattata. I wonder if his Rattata's in the top percentage. Yeah, we are not weak anymore, and actually, that's pretty clever, using a priority move on me. Quick Attack will always go first if the opponent is not using another priority attack. It's actually pretty good for Pokemon that have, say, a really, really high attack stat, but really low defense, kind of like Cyndaquil, and kind of like Cyndaquil, where, of course, I got a critical hit, where they may not get a chance to attack if they get, because Cyndaquil may be fast, and later Typhlosion is also kind of fast as well, but it will be outsped by things, so Quick Attack is kind of a good way of getting off some guaranteed damage, or at least better odds of getting guaranteed damage. Better odds of getting damage, not better odds of getting guaranteed damage that conflicts. Youngster Joey just gave us his phone number. As you can see, he's here. Title. Yeah, let's start by title. He will... The Pokegear got massively benefited in this game. It has specific times where individuals will call you. You can rematch them. This doesn't really seem like it would be a whole lot because, I mean, we're already really high level compared to everything else. I mean, we're fighting people that are, what, like 5 levels, in his case, 7 below us. So this really isn't going to be too much of a help, you think. That is quite the opposite. This game is very, very misleading with its experience yields. Early on, you're very high level compared to everything else, as I am right now because of how much backtracking you have to make through routes 29 and 30. Finding so many Pokemon, you're going to be getting levels very fast. So you think from the start you're going to be pretty high level for the rest of the game, because you're what? You know, double, maybe triple, sometimes quadruple the level of the Pokemon you're fighting. That does not last. In 2 towns, yeah, I believe it is 2 towns, we're going to start hitting what I call the wall, where you just hit it and the levels spike. Do not get used to being this high level.